Welcome to Etihad Focus, your number one spot for the latest match updates, transfer news, and inside training coverage. If you love football, you're in the right place. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss any breaking updates. Let's get started. Real Madrid problems mount, as 9 players could miss Manchester City. Manchester City have a few injury problems, but Real Madrid have more, and endured a damaging home defeat at the weekend. Manchester City will head to the Bernabeu for the 5th time in 4 years, with more spring in their step than their last visit. Pep Guardiola's side were broken and bruised before they even kicked off for the second leg of their Champions League playoff 10 months ago, and they were soundly beaten by their biggest rivals in the competition. This time, there is much to be happier about. City may still not be close to where they want to be in terms of team performances, but the manager hailed Saturday's 3-0 win over Sunderland as one of their finest in 2025, and the result took them to within 2 points of the Premier League summit. With 3 games to go in the first phase of the Champions League, City are jostling for a top 8 finish that would see them straight through to the last 16. They may need a result against Real to get there, and they know better than anyone how difficult that is. At the same time, Real are not close to where they want to be either, as their problems under new coach Xabi Alonso stack up ahead of hosting the Blues. Alonso has been able to get a tune out of star striker Kylian Mbappe this season, and Jude Bellingham has successfully returned from injury. Yet it has been harder to get threatening performances out of long-time City nemesis Vinicius Jr. and Rodrigo. Carlo Ancelotti was adored by the Real dressing room, and there have been rumours of grumblings as the Galacticos adapt to the new era under Alonso. As City enjoyed one of their best performances on Saturday, Real slumped to a disastrous result. Their 2-0 home defeat to Celta Vigo leaves them 4 points off La Liga leaders Barcelona, and only a point ahead of Villarreal, having played a game more, and they also had 2 players sent off and lost centre-back Eder Militao to injury. Militao will now likely miss the City game and will be in good company. Trent Alexander-Arnold has already been ruled out with a thigh injury, while Dani Carvajal are also out. Dean Huijsen, David Alaba and Ferland Mendy could all be absent as well with injury to leave Real a lot weaker than they could be. City will be missing Rodri and Mateo Kovacic, as well as John Stones potentially. The England defender wasn't involved in the Sunderland game after picking up an injury, and Guardiola could not say how long he will be out for. Nevertheless, Guardiola should feel his side are in better fitness and form as they travel to Spain for what they know is always one of the toughest fixtures in their calendar. Manchester City handed new injury scare ahead of Real Madrid. Manchester City could be without John Stones for the Champions League tie at Real Madrid. Manchester City swept aside Sunderland 3-0 in the Premier League on Saturday to cut the gap to Arsenal to 2 points at the top of the Premier League table. First half goals from Ruben Dias and Josko Gvardiol set City on their way before Phil Foden headed home a third, thanks to a majestic Ryan Cherki assist to seal the victory. With Arsenal having lost in the last minute at Aston Villa in the lunchtime kickoff, the victory over the Black Cats ensured City keep the pressure on the Gunners. Both sides have Champions League matches in midweek, with City in Spain to face Real Madrid. The Blues were beaten by Bayer Leverkusen in their last European outing and will be hoping for a positive result against Xabi Alonso's side as they seek to make the top 8 and avoid a playoff round. But Pep Guardiola's side could be without John Stones after the defender missed the win over Sunderland with an injury. Here's the latest from the Etihad treatment table. Rodri remains sidelined, and Guardiola and City are working to ensure the midfielder is not rushed back into contention after a series of setbacks since returning from a lengthy ACL injury. The 29-year-old is still a few weeks away from being able to come into contention for a first-team spot. It was a muscular injury against Brentford in a high tendon muscular hamstring area. And he's a bit more careful, said Guardiola. And that will happen. Previous ones, when he stepped back, we had to be more cautious and have no more prevention, but make sure it is safe. So it's simple. But it's not a step back. So the process of recovery is doing well. He started to make training sessions on the pitch already. So hopefully, in a few weeks, it can start. Kovacic is not expected to return for a few months, with the Croatia international sidelined, with an ankle issue having missed the start of the campaign, having undergone Achilles surgery in the summer. Guardiola explained, he will be out for a while. He still has a problem with the ankle, a little calcification still there. will wait on him for the last part of the season. The defender was not in the squad for the win over Sunderland, and Guardiola confirmed after the game that the England international was missing through injury. No specifics were given, and the City boss said he didn't know the timescale for a possible return for the 31-year-old, but he is a significant doubt for Madrid on Wednesday night. Manchester City ready €120 million offer for stunning Chelsea raid after shock Pep Guardiola criticism. Manchester City are plotting a hugely ambitious move for future Chelsea superstar Estevão Willian, a sensational report has claimed, and the link comes after Pep Guardiola's surprise criticism of Ryan Cherki. Estevão only moved to Stamford Bridge in July, but is already proving to be a key player for Enzo Maresca. He has registered 5 goals and 1 assist in 20 appearances so far, which includes strikes in Chelsea's last 3 Champions League matches. Estevão quickly established himself as a favourite among Chelsea fans by scoring a last-minute winner against reigning Premier League champions Liverpool in October. Chelsea supporters are hugely excited by the prospect of the Brazilian linking up with Cole Palmer, now that the latter is back to full fitness. Estevão is seen as a player with world-class potential, and Chelsea did exceptionally well to win the chase for him. But according to Spanish outlet Fichajes, Man City are hoping to steal him away from West London. The report claims Man City are prepared to make a €120 million offer, £105 million, $140 million, in a deal which would see Estevão become their record signing. Guardiola's side are allegedly open to doubling the 18-year-old's weekly wage to convince him on an early Chelsea exit. Guardiola is said to be leading the pursuit, having identified Estevão as an elite performer who can form a devastating partnership with the likes of Cherki, Erling Haaland and Phil Foden. Speculation City are eyeing the teenager comes at an interesting time, as Guardiola has said Cherki will be in trouble if he continues showboating. Cherki managed an incredible Rabona assist to set up Foden for City's 3rd goal during the win over Sunderland yesterday, but Guardiola quickly played down praise. "I never saw Messi play a cross like he has done," Guardiola said. "Messi is the best player to play the game, but I never saw these kind of crosses. Crosses are fine, right or left, or which part of your feet, it doesn't matter. If it is effective, it is fine. But I like the simplicity, because I learned from Messi that I never make a mistake with the simple things. The simple things he does perfectly, then he dribbles past 4 or 5 players. I want players to do the simple things well, and after that you have special talent, and he can do whatever he wants. But if he doesn't work now, it will be a problem. He will be in trouble." While it is likely that City Chiefs have been dazzled by Estevão's start to life in England, it is very hard to see him moving to the Etihad anytime soon. Chelsea see Estevão as a crucial part of their project as they attempt to win Premier League and Champions League titles. The last thing Chelsea will want to do is improve a direct competitor such as City. Instead, it is more likely Antoine Semenyo will link up with Guardiola's men. Sources state that City have made contact for the Bournemouth winger and have overtaken Liverpool in the transfer race. Ryan Cherki may have to accept unwanted Manchester City repeat. Choose carefully. Manchester City star Ryan Cherki spoke to reporters after his eye-catching contribution to their Premier League win over Sunderland. "2 questions, pleaded Ryan Cherki as he came to speak to newspaper reporters in what was one of several interviews for him after Manchester City's win over Sunderland. Not 5, not 6, not 7. Before the questions began, Cherki apologised for his English as he readied himself to do another interview in a language that is not his first. As the second question began to be asked, he interjected again. "Choose your question carefully, because it's the last," it was also said with a smile and a laugh, although the 22-year-old did waste no time at all in swerving a few questions that he said were too complicated for him, and was then whisked off for another broadcaster. Just because he had produced the game's outstanding moment in the 3-0 win, it did not make him the best talker. That is both completely fine and entirely understandable. It is difficult to think of anyone in any profession who prefers talking about their job to actually doing it. Never mind footballers who have such rare talent that allows them to be idolised for their feat, but are all too aware that every time they open their mouth, it will go around the world and could reflect negatively on them. Unfortunately for the very best footballers, however, one comes with the other. The more impact you have on the pitch, the more likely you are to have to speak to media about it afterwards, not least because certain broadcasters pay for the rights to be able to speak to whoever they like. Any repeat performances from Cherki in line with his Sunderland performance, and however unwanted those post-match chats may be, they will surely be coming. Pep Guardiola praised Cherki for doing the simple things well, and there was no dressing up of the Rabona assist for Phil Foden that left jaws on the floor at the Etihad. All the games, all the weeks, I want to give a good pass to Phil, Erling, Jeremy, to all the players on the pitch. It's my job, I work all week for that, he said. The Rabona is my creativity. When I do this Rabona, I don't know where the ball is. I just think about putting the ball on the head of Erling or Foden. And today it's good. I do it in all the games because it's my quality. I take my time, the adaptation period is very hard, and I work all the weeks for that. I have the confidence of Pep, and I'm very happy for that. Guardiola also praised the character of Cherki, not just to be able to make the game safe at Sunderland, but for his cameo against Fulham when he came on as a substitute and was a calming presence on a City team that were threatening to throw away a 4-goal lead. That performance earned the Sunderland start, and he may have played his way into the team for Real Madrid on Wednesday. Another environment where the manager wants big personalities who are unafraid to play their normal game. If selected, that is not a challenge that Cherki will be shirking. It's very important for us, all the games, in Premier League and Champions League, he said. We go to Madrid to win and not concede a goal, and we are ready for that. We know Madrid are a very good team, but we go there to win.